Welcome to the Edge of Innovation, Hacking the Future of Business. Today we are talking about websites. We're reviewing websites, best practices, and the way we can improve websites. It's Paul, me, and Steve today, and we are picking up where we left off last week, and we're going to be reviewing Blue Cross Blue Shield today. We are taking on the big guns.
Well, yeah, I guess they have guns, right? I don't know.
Well, I guess they're a hospital.
They're not supposed to have guns, I thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get into politics. But anyway, we thought we'd review the Blue Cross Blue Shield site. That's bcbs.com. And, when I first looked at it, it's got these, big hero images that fade behind with white overlay text with a little bit of shadow. An encouragement to visit your local Blue Cross Blue Shield company because Blue Cross Blue Shield is a bunch of different companies under one name, each state or even multiple in the states. They've got a menu up across the top, shop for health insurance, already a member, find a doctor or hospital, Blue 365 healthy discounts, media center, and why Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so, it's interesting. And over on the right-hand side, I can shop for health insurance. I'm already a member, so I've got already a member in two places, and so I basically have two menus, which is interesting. I'm not sure why people need two menus, but I, having been a human most of my life and having health insurance for most of my life, the thing that you typically want to do is call them. So, okay, this is great. Contact us right there at the top. And that's great real estate. But I come in here and there is no phone number there. And I can I got to go to locally operated and all these different things. Okay, so I go
they have
here.
A phone number to deliver you straight to the hold line.
That's right. So I click on the local ones and I can go down to all of these cities and all this. A lot of scrolling. I got to imagine this could be a lot easier to use. And I'm really not sure why somebody would want to tweet that article or like it. I mean, it's 111 people have liked that on Facebook. I got to really ask them, what in the world are you thinking about? Or shared this on LinkedIn. I am sharing the page that is the contact numbers for Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
That does seem a bit odd.
It does seem a bit odd. And, so it's weird, and I'm in the about Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I mean, again, usually when you need to call them, it's because something hard is happening. You get a bill that you didn't expect. You need services,
right.
And they should make that instantaneous. Give me an 800 number, and they take my phone, my number, or even track my phone number and say, oh, you're in Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. Let's get you right there right now. This is not a small company, So, guys, what do you think initially?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the phone number is essential because, to get their phone number, for example, I go to gethuman.com and I immediately get their customer service number, huge text at the top. I shouldn't have to go to Google and then another website to be able to get the contact number for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
So now Steve's taking his Blue Cross Blue Shield card out.
I mean, I'm literally
at the back of it.
I should have timed myself to see how long it took to find the number.
I think that took you about 8
there is a
seconds.
number on the back of my card, which
Yes.
I should be able. That should be like on the front of their website or in the contact us area. If you have a card, the customer service is on the back of it.
Right.
That's a little aggravating. And I think. Okay, so there's two sides to it. One, Blue Cross Blue Shield wins by the fact that it's a monolith, so people are going to come to this website and use it, regardless of what they want to do. On the other side...
Or not. Or they may just not go to the website.
That's true.
Because you made a very important point here. They're going to use it for what they want to do. Let's talk about that after you finish your point here. What do they want to do, and what does the site offer them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just thinking, so, I went to my wallet to pull out my Blue Cross Blue Shield card because I got frustrated with the site.
Right.
And part of that is usually hospitals and medical things are already associated with frustration and long holds and difficulty.
Right.
And you're calling in a time that something hard is going on in your life, probably.
Right. Presumably a crisis of some kind.
Right. Cutting out anything, any difficulty, even as small as this, like finding a contact number, seems like it should be an easy instinct. Like this could be an easy small win for them. Oh, I can find the contact number right away. I'm having a problem. Here's how I get in touch.
Absolutely. And then up at the top, we saw the logo, which is good placement of the logo. It's a well-worn brand, is very good. We've got contact us, and then we got careers. It's like, wait a minute, if somebody's looking for a career, that could be in the bottom footer. That does not need to be up there for the consumer. And then search, let's type in telephone, and let's see what it comes up with. So I get this 27 items found. I've got a glossary over here on the right, and it is virtually useless. I've got something, the first article is called Voyager. Cover Your World, How to Apply is this subset here. Then I've got Trekker, Terms and Conditions, Blue Card International Claim Form A4. So, it's just like, how is this useful? Site search has to be curated. They shouldn't be allowing this deep search to be able to search for all these obtuse things.
What's interesting is, so I went up there to the top menu, and it says already a member, which is a question that you have to answer to get to Ask Blue. So you click Ask Blue, and that takes you to contact information. But it's interesting, I'm on the website for askblueinsurance.com, and it's frozen. Like, I can't.
Oh my.
So there's some sort of coding issue going on here where I can either fill out and submit the form, but I can't close or look at anything. It's somehow frozen.
I was about to make a Mac joke, but we're all running Macs right now,
Well, here, but just one second. I just noticed on here, there's no logo. I'm in the search, and the logo's gone. So I don't know that I'm on Blue Cross Blue Shield. So and I can't go. I can click, but it doesn't show it. So now let's get back to this idea of why would you come here?
Right.
So, one of the reasons is you might want to shop for health insurance. Okay, that's a good thing, But honestly, I don't know. I'd love to see the demographics of how many people shop for health insurance. Most people are not self-employed. The majority get their health insurance from plans.
Well, and if they are self-employed, they're going to be going through the government-provided websites.
Right. So that's sort of a misnomer. Already a member, as you said. We'll skip that for a minute. Find a doctor and hospital. Some discounts you might be eligible for, and then a media center, which it has news updates and press releases and media resources, and then why Blue Cross Blue Shield. And, I guess, I don't know, there is, and then let's scroll down. I scrolled down, and there's these 3 articles that keep shifting. The cost of healthcare. Rising healthcare costs affects us all. It went connecting the dots with data. I just don't know how many ordinary people are going to come to this site and consume this type of data. Report on growing costs of. I can't even read it.
And they don't even have an option to pause it before.
Right. Well, usually when you hover over it, should pause. But let's click on this one. So now I'm in Blue Cross Blue Shield Access. I have no idea what Access was. I thought that was something in World War II. Connecting the dots with data. Okay, Blue Cross Blue Shield plans are changing the way healthcare decisions are made. And what is this Access? So I've got to dig into this, and they're trying to use good things, but it sounds like it's written by people that are really close to it. I just can't see if you went up down your street, knocked on a door of a neighbor, and said, "What do you think of this?" They'd say, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Why is this important to me?" The real point here. So facilitating high performance healthcare. Blue Cross Blue Shield Access powers solutions that are changing how healthcare is delivered and paid for. Very that sort of business speak.
Right.
The pontification thing that's out there, and then I don't even know what Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can watch a video about it. That's cool. Well, let me go to about what it is. Oh, and here it is. So here's what Blue Cross Blue Shield Access is for everybody out there listening. With unmatched national breadth and local depth, Blue Cross Blue Shield Access puts comprehensive, reliable, and actionable data and information from more providers and more procedures into the hands of employers and employees so they can make better informed decisions on the cost and quality of care. How many times have you made a decision on the cost and quality of your care? You do what your insurance covers.
Right.
And if I ignore problems sometimes, does that count?
Right, exactly. So I just don't get it, and there's there's this sort of different worlds we live in, and I don't know what who reads this? What world do they live in that they're reading this? So the Blue Cross Blue Shield blog, it said here, represented a new. I can't see it here. So here, I'll read it real quick here. Come on, go ahead, slide. Okay. It's next. Oh, they have a speakers bureau. A wide communicate about the work we do. Stop by daily for the latest information on the blues. So they want me to read stuff at their blog. You know, well, they have a Twitter account. Let's go see what the Twitter account was. They have 15,000 followers. I'd like to get in the heads of those people. Why are they following Blue Cross Blue Shield? I mean, it would be different if you got a $25 discount on your next doctor's visit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or a 10% on your health care.
That feels low to me. I don't know top Twitter accounts.
15,000?
That feels for something that's as big as Blue Cross Blue Shield.
For a national leader in health insurance, 15,000. I mean, we have clients who have more than 15,000 in their radio shows.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I guess to me, they're not offering something that makes you feel like you want to follow them.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, if you scroll down to this, A Healthier Michigan, 5 lifestyle tips. It'd be interesting to dig into some of these. Well, it's retweeted 5 times. Then this one is Dakota.
Yeah. Good Mood Foods has been retweeted 11 times. So they have health. I mean, they have health-related articles that they're tweeting, which I suppose undergirds,
reduces their costs.
Sure,
because they don't have to deal with sick people. Supposedly, if they eat well, the chance of getting lung cancer in your lifetime.
So can I make comments as the youngest person in the room here?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm young enough that I'm actually still on my parents' health care.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be that young for very long.
Yeah.
You're
getting older?
I am getting, surprisingly, I'm getting older at a steady rate.
It's weird.
So I went into, I want to buy health care, and I think I'm on tab 5 now, maybe tab 4 of clicking through before I got a list of available plans, basically. And it kind of just siphoned me. I feel like I'm a relatively savvy internet user. I kind of ignore a lot of problems that come my way when I'm using the internet.
You don't allow the speed bumps to get in the way.
Exactly, yeah. I don't think that's always a good thing, particularly when you're analyzing a website for a podcast. But so it took me 4 or 5 tabs to get the available plans, and the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I can survive until I saw the rates. But the problem is that healthcare is for all range and ages of people. And I'm thinking about accessibility here, and I'm thinking about
usability.
My grandmother, who is a widow at this point. What if she has to go in at some point and try to navigate this stuff? And it doesn't feel accessible. There's no, font change or style options or anything. There's no easy guidance for where do I go based on age or something like that. It's it's worrying to me in that sense. I'm not sure if it's because they can get away with it because they just hold a market share, or if they just don't care. Or I'm not sure what it is, but
yeah, I agree. And the fonts are small and they're tightly, there's bulleted lists and they're very tight and very densely packed. And it's not friendly. It's not unfriendly, but it's not as friendly as it could be. Now I can see you, Jacob, holding your phone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, so you can do the page scrunch and pull the window in to see that it's not responsive on a desktop, but you pull up on a mobile device, and it's the same website, extra tiny, on a phone. Like there's no mobile responsiveness on the website. And you think about the people who are going to a website potentially on their phone for health insurance. Again, they're probably in a situation where they need quick information at a very rapid pace.
Right.
And the way the website... So we're already talking about this from a desktop perspective or a laptop perspective. You take that to a mobile phone, and people are going to be really frustrated with this website. It's
an epic fail. I mean, it really is. I mean, this is not somebody who can't afford it. They should have a website on a mobile phone that works well.
Yeah.
Now, they might say, well, we have an app, and that's another topic for another show, but you owe it to your constituents to have websites that work on mobile phones and on desktops, easily responsive, or separate websites if you must.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Blue Cross Blue Shield, they could very easily invest in a website that is responsive across all platforms.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not all that hard to do. I mean, it'd be interesting to do a spider of the site and see how many pages were in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll bet there's way too many pages in it.
Yeah.
I think it has to be really slimmed down.
Yeah.
Put that other stuff somewhere else, because I'd love to look at the consumption rates on the pages as well as how many people go deep on the site. Because I've found it where with the different healthcare providers, is you find something on their website and you bring it to their attention. Oh no, that's obsolete. So it's not even necessarily up to date.
Yeah, I think they need to. What would be good to see is they do need to have a lot of pages in the end, because they've got a lot of people they're servicing. They're servicing
Right.
businesses. They're servicing individuals. I think this would be a good study in guiding people to where they need to go very quickly, because you have to catch somebody on
Right.
your main. So you're gonna have to catch some people on your main page basically,
Well,
and filter them quickly to what are you here for?
Right, exactly. I think you bring out a great point. The site is not, again, we talked about this in our last, it's not about Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's about what the person sitting in front of the computer wants from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah.
That's a critical difference. And no amount of all that stuff, if I don't get what I want or need out of it, it is useless.
Yeah. It is interesting, so they do have, it would appear that they have Blue Cross Blue Shield by state in terms of apps. So they have apps available for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Right.
But I would have never known that from the website, and I intuitively don't know what exactly am I supposed to use the app for. Is that supposed to be my insurance card and then a doctor finder?
Well, and the other thing is that, we can geolocate. So why not, we see that you're currently in Massachusetts. Would you like to see the Blue Cross Blue Shield Massachusetts site?
Super
your arm
easy.
Is currently broken based on your typing pattern.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And based on a whole bunch of other things, we don't want to have you as a client.
Yeah. Yeah, it is always fascinating to me when I go to websites that don't have automatic geolocator request information.
Well, that, and if your browser is in Spanish, make the site in Spanish.
Yeah.
And if I'm using a Spanish browser, it's incumbent upon me to figure out how to switch it into English if I need to. But the same thing, geolocation, you can argue, say, well, they might be in California on vacation. Well, then I can tell you that. I can say, no, I'm not there right now. Choose this one.
Right.
That experience should be frictionless. It should be perfect.
Yeah, it seems like in some ways, unfortunately, the website reinforces the frustration that a lot of people experience with health insurance.
I think it brings up more of what we're saying about people being blind to things, being so close to things that they don't know they don't see what needs to be changed.
So I do think that we need to talk about some of the dynamics of how a user would engage with this and the blind spots. It seems just at a face level, it would seem like this website evidences the blind spots to how a user uses this versus what the company is trying to accomplish. To me, it would seem they need to have somebody do an outside audit and review of the website. Did you have any thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, you and I work together, and often when I'm stuck on a website or stuck on a website idea, I'll just kick it over to you, and I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? Mm-hmm. And you'll be pretty honest with me. You'll be like, well, you might be totally outside the purview of whatever project I was working on.
Right.
And you'll give me your 5-minute rundown of, okay, I don't quite get what's going on here.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this font? These menu items are really tight. Just kind of all the small detail things that I've been looking at it for a while, and I might miss. And that's on a very small scale. Might be making a website for a small business or a person.
Right. Yeah.
I would be interested to see, did they run customers through this site? Did they get a collection of customers and offer them, $5 gift cards or something like that, $10 gift cards, and watch them and monitor them go through the site and see how that works? I doubt it. I don't know. I'd be interested to know.
Again, it's a bit unclear as to what exactly they're trying to accomplish with the website, but in terms of the user experience or, the IX, so to speak, they need somebody to do an outside review, and they need somebody who's an expert at how to understand that, because you can be a great business manager, you can be a great CEO, you can be a great executive, but if you don't understand how the massive amount of information that goes into how a website functions and is used by the user, how they engage with content, you will have a fail website, which is what we're seeing in some cases here. They need somebody to come in and tell them exactly how does a user interact with this. And this isn't like a small project. Like, there are companies that will run websites through not only, 50 plus different browsers to make sure that it's going to be accessible by all users, which is important because you're talking about a clientele base in this situation with healthcare that, frankly, older users are going to potentially still be using Windows 98 or older. They might still be using, Internet Explorer from 1994 and AOL,
Yep.
So
Putting that AOL disk in the computer to install it again.
So you have to think about who your user base is that's engaging with the website, but then you have to think about how they are going to want information, and you might not actually have that expertise in-house. You need to hire somebody else outside to take care of your baby, so to speak, and to look at it to improve the website.
Yeah, there's a few things, just to get a little technical here. There's a few things that look sloppy to me in web design. I'm assuming that BCBS spent a lot of money on this website. I'm just going to assume that straight up. I don't think that they're building it on some open source thing. My guess is they hired a team that built a custom site with custom administrative panel. I'm just going out on a limb here. I'm guessing just based on the scale of the website. That's kind of big business tradition right now. It doesn't have to be, but that's a different topic. But there are just some things, they have. So I'm going to say they have 21 JavaScript files, 21 separate ones.
Oh, wow.
And so JavaScript basically is the code that runs in your browser. The server kicks over to your browser, and your browser says, oh, okay, what do I do with this? Oh, it tells me to run this little animation. Okay, I'll do that. And 21 is a very high number. I want to say 2 or 3 max is kind of what's recommended right now by Google. And it is difficult, but it's not impossible. And it's certainly not impossible with a big team. I'm saying it's difficult for one person, but I'm assuming they have a team working on this to compress that down into a file.
Yeah.
There's things like that. They haven't compressed some of their files. They don't use a content delivery network, which basically means have an outside source deliver your information for you at a faster speed.
So
there are things like that they
host it all on the website.
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. There are things like that they could afford, but they're choosing not to for some reason.
Yeah.
It just, maybe they hired this outside firm, buddy trusts their other buddy, and then they hired these people, and no one really has enough ownership of the site. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it needs some new external eyes on it to kind of pick up even those obvious things. It's like, okay, guys, got to compress the files.
Yeah, it seems like there's some basic things that are being overlooked here. And not to mention, hosting files outside of the server is in many ways standard practice. So
yeah, if you've got a bigger site like this, CDN is pretty essential.
Yeah. There was even it's very essential to how you function websites today, or functional websites work today. So it seems to me that for Blue Cross Blue Shield, their website, though they are an incredibly influential and important insurance company, their website is reinforcing some of the negative stereotypes about insurance companies, and it's not clear exactly what their call to action is on the website. Are you being sold health insurance? Are you being offered help for how to get quick information for your insurance? Are you being offered a job at Blue Cross Blue Shield? Are you trying to register your practice with Blue Cross Blue Shield? Are you trying to set it? It's not clear what they're trying to do, and understandably they're a huge company, so they're trying to juggle many things.
Yeah, and kind of with our closing statements of like, what do we recommend?
Yeah.
What do we see? I'm going to take out on a limb here and actually recommend that whoever would work on this would take maybe a playlist or the playbook from Craigslist or from Reddit, something like that. Because, surprisingly, those are very cluttered. And I'm not saying it should be cluttered like Craigslist and Reddit are necessarily, but they both realize that, Reddit's the front page of the internet. Craigslist is basically the garage sale of the internet.
Yeah.
They realize, okay, we have a ton of options. So you land on Craigslist, it's like, all right, pick your state and your area.
Yeah.
Like, we know it's a crazy page, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
Reddit, the top bar says it gives you all your popular topics, and then it's got all the popular topics of the day listed below there.
Yeah.
And to the typical user that goes to it and uses it regularly, as most people use their health insurance regularly too.
Yeah.
So this is a site that's going to be like that. It's not information overload. It's okay. I have a lot of choices I need to make, and I need to narrow it down to the correct ones.
Yeah.
And I think Blue Cross Blue Shield would need to think about, okay, how do we present a lot of information effectively up front. How do we begin filtering a person as soon as they land? You know, maybe it's the state they live in, like we talked about geolocation. Maybe it's saying you got to put in your, you know, if you want to navigate more quickly, get out your insurance card right now, or tell us the state of your insurance that it's registered in, or just something simple to get us to a better place right away.
Yeah, I think simplifying the menu options, I think simplifying them down to and what you might call felt needs. What are the felt needs of somebody coming to an insurance website? Simplifying the menu options down, and then from those simplified options going into...
I am injured.
Yeah.
Don't feel good.
Are you bleeding?
Stop and go to the hospital.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to be improved here with this website. And I mean, I can understand the dynamics of building a website for such a large corporation, but I think that there's some basic ideas that we bring to the table here. So Blue Cross Blue Shield, if you want Save Your Labs to work on your website, we'd love to. We could do a great job at helping you reorganize this. But for everybody else who's watching and thinking about Blue Cross Blue Shield and what we can learn from them, I think there are some basic things for organization, menu management, what the company is trying to accomplish, what they're trying to ask you to do with the website that is, frankly, just a bit confusing. So thanks for listening to The Edge of Innovation. We'll talk to you again next week.